Do you think the other sports kind of owe touch a little bit of like thank you for development?
There's a lot of people that have transferred from touch.
I've always credited touch for those skills. It needs a bit more love.
The People's Game, ki Māori Plus, me whakaata Māori.
Kia ora e Tiwi, and welcome back to our live streamed action of the 2025 Pacific Cup, coming to you live from Mountfort Park in Manurewa in South Auckland. We appreciate your company, where we've got an open men's fixture between the Cook Islands and Tonga Open Men's, and this should be an absolute cracker of a game. It's going to be fast action. We've got two of the best outfits out there in the open men's section doing battle here on field number one. My name is Sivili Guthrie. Really appreciate your company here today, as it has been all weekend here. Conditions are absolutely perfect here at Mountfort Park for touch. The sun is shining, and we've got plenty of music and colour and happy faces out there across all the fields from 1 right through to 13. As we have Cook Islands getting ready to tap us off underway in this open men's fixture. And expect to see some incredible touch on display from these two nations. As Kobe Reid for the Cook Islands puts the ball to the deck. And now Tonga will look to ruck out of their own half. And we saw them in action yesterday on the live stream game. Tonga, the first of the morning, an exhibition match against our Fijian neighbours, Wangavuka, coming directly from the Fijian Islands. And Tonga were pretty clinical in that one, as they look to run much of the same in this one. A few tap-on passes, but the ball ending up going to deck. And Cook Islands, they've got some impressive names on their team sheet. And at the helm is Al Tetevano for the weekend, coming from Wellington. So we've got players and people and coaches coming from all over to enjoy the 2025 Pacific Cup. As they look to run a little fly play out to the right-hand side, setting up at a 3-2 ruck. And there's the dummy, and they've gone through. Has the touch been made? No, it hasn't. But an intercept comes for the Tongans anyway. And that was a great display there from both teams. Tonga looking to just ruck the ball forward. Shifting the ball back to the centre of the field. Looking to scoop out a half on the last, stepping off the left. Cook Islands looking to man up in defence, and that's a great show there from the Cook Islands. Just getting the yards, crossing into the Tongan half. Kobe Reid, he'll be hard to miss with the big air in the middle of the field as he looks to scoop out a half, steps off the left, goes towards the short side, throws the long ball out to the right. I think he had a little bit more time than perhaps he thought there. And the ball sails over the right-hand touchline, so the scores remain 0-0 in the opening exchanges of this one. Tonga now with a little bit of a traveller pass, looking to get in behind the Cook Island defence. Crossing over into halfway, that's Broadhurst. Finding the extras. It's Morgan Tafia. Great strike dump, they're right on the 7, they're looking to run here. Tonga, pass out to the left-hand side, diving over. And they cross over to draw first blood. There might be Tom Durban-Burgess there for Tonga. It was a great platform set by Ezra Morgan-Tafia. Ripped the ball out to the left of Quinn Masila. And then diving over there to get the first on the board for the Tongans. They take an early 1-0 lead. Now Cook Islands, see what they can come up with in reply. Just looking to set the play up nice and patient. Touch is made. The 7. And again there, so this Tongan defense looking well connected, looking to press forward and hard. And really forcing the issue for the Cook Islands is now Broadhurst, looking to go up the center of the park before swinging the ball to the left. That's a great exit strategy from them. That's touch 1, and within 2 touches, they're just over halfway, flirting with the touchline on the left. Here's Ngata. Yeah, just coming up with a little roll ball error there. And such a shame, as it was looking promising for them. But now Cook Islands looking to use the width of the park. Now, the fresh subbers coming up on the field. See what they can come up with on the 7. Just looking to draw defenders out. Yeah, another little roll ball error. Now Tonga at the moment, this is the part of the park where they're winning and really got the upper hand over the Cookies. As this midfield. And they'll continue that as they roll into the 7. Another platform set, looking to pick on the 32. Long ball goes out to the left. We can see from our sideline, touchy there. The pass just drifted forward. Now the Cook Islands ripping the ball out to the left, so using the ball. And on touch 1, there was definitely a hand in there from the Tongans, and I think they managed to get away with that one. The wily veteran, Louis Shamkel, out on the right-hand wing, just playing at the arm. Those nifty tricks that you'd expect from your more experienced players, and Louis Shamko is definitely one of those on the wing here for Tonga, as they get a set on the line there, looking to run a punish play. Tonga through Louis Puru, drawing the penalty there. They look to run much of the same, but they fake him and throw out to the right-hand side. That's all too easy there. Ty Lindsay crosses over for Tonga, but they set that up so well, didn't they? And you'll see on the replay here that they had run the punish play earlier, so they knew that's where the attention was going to be. They dummied that quickie, threw the ball out to the right-hand side. Ty Lindsay with the dummy caught the Cook Island defense in 2 minds, and he's crossed over for the 2nd of the morning for Tonga. Cook Islands, they want to come up with a reply here. This is the better way to do it, to come rolling in. Great sting there, though, from Quinn Marcellus, shooting up from Link. And just really making things uncomfortable. Tonga, long ball goes out to the wing. Interception from Shamko. And this Tongan defense proving early in the first sort of half of this half that their defense is going to be pretty tough to break. Great ruck there from the Cookies as they stream onto the field, looking to steal a touch there, but to no avail. As they come towards the 7, they still got 1 or 2 touches up their sleeve. They won't need it though, as the long ball comes up to the right. He came up with an interception down one end of the park, and down this end he'll finish it off. Louis Shamko, after an excellent ball out of dummy half, sailed over the heads of the Cook Island defense, and Tonga shoot to a 3-0 lead. Excellent play there. Cook Islands through Reed, up through the middle. The referee just keeping the Tongan defense honest. This is looking promising for them, looking to dive through the middle. The referee, yeah, he says play through. They came around on the sweep. It was a patient build-up, just drawing defenders forward. And then the touch was made, a step back, and the dive through the middle. Referee said, yeah, he was offside. And the Cook Islands, they managed to draw their first in the morning. And they pegged the deficit back to 2. So 3-1 is the current scoreline. And Tonga will see what they can come up with in reply. So we've got Durban Burgess, Marcilla, Morgan Tarfair. The ball shifts out to Preston Broadhurst. Was a touch made out in the corner? I think it was, but the referee will come back for the first infringement. Offside is the call from our referees. And this combination, this club combination, Pearl Jam, with a mix from playing up, as we see Preston Broadhurst. I think he had a little bit more time with the ball than he realised. Went for the easy draw pass option. But great defence there from the Cook Island winger. Now Tonga, Morgan Tarfair just toying with them out on the 7-metre line. Passes back to Marcilla, to Morgan Tarfair. They hit the long ball out. Marcilla steps off the right. And great touch again there from Cook Islands. This is better defence from them. Tonga throwing quite a bit at them, so we'll gain a little bit of confidence from this if they can shut this one out. Morgan Tarfair now, he'll scoop out a half, steps off his right towards the short side. The hole is there, and it's intercepted by the Cook Islands. So excellent play there on defense from the men in green. And you can hear the confidence grow. The noise is starting to come from the box. The tails are starting to pick up. And they cross over halfway with relative ease. We'll see if they can punctuate that with a strike on the back end of the set. They're getting down to the 7. Coming out to a 32 platform. The pick comes out a half. Double pumping, throwing the short ball. And it was a close run thing, but the referee says it was a late pass. But things are looking better. It's looking more promising for the Cook Islands. Now they're starting to press in defense. Tonga just poking holes through the wave defense of the Cook Islands. That's Ngata. Now just slowing things up in the middle of the park. Davison with the ball in hand. Passes out to Talau Brown. The last is coming passive, goes out to the left. Have they made the touch there out in the corner? They have indeed. And I tell you what, the work of the winger there from the Cook Islands, he saved about 2 or 3 tries within the space of 2 or 3 minutes. And Cook Islands, unfortunately, just not quite connecting on the pass, looking to use the width of the field to try and break this Tongan defense down. And now Lazarus Ngata looking to run a punish play. Davison will scoop out a half. What a ball that is, straight over the top. And that is right off the top shelf. An excellent play there for Tonga. James Davison faked the quickie. Beautiful balance on the pass. Hits the winger on the button. And John Paul Fifita, he crossed over for a few in yesterday's exhibition game. And he gets his first of the morning, and Tonga's 4th overall. So 4-1 is the current scoreline as we approach half-time. Kobe Reid now, he'll look to scoop out a half. Was the touch made there? Referee says play through. And the ball has been dotted down as a result in the right-hand corner. So Cook Islands, they managed to hit back. It was excellent work out of dummy half there from Reid. Managed to throw the ball at the last second, and what a finish there out in the corner. And the Cook Islands, they'll be happy with that one. Deficit is back to 2, and they'll just look for more of the same in terms of defense that they managed to pull out a couple of sets ago against this very quartet. But the class from Tonga there is simply too much. An excellent play there. And it was just look upon look from Tonga. They dummied the quickie towards the infield, bouncing out Preston Broadhurst on the left. And we saw that dive on display yesterday. He's managed to use it to great effect again today. And we've got a bit of a ping-pong battle to finish off the half, try for try. One of these teams will need to come up with a defensive stop soon. And this set is going to be huge in terms of the context of the game. Cook Islands, they want to peg one back. And they've got numbers here out onto the left. Great shot there from Shamku out on the wing. And that's the stopper that we were looking for. Now Tonga with just under a minute left. There's enough time for them to steal another one. They're going to have to move north to south pretty quickly here as Ngata Works his way over to the box. There's a little bobble in the roll ball there, so if there was enough time for Tonga, there's definitely enough time for the Cook Islands. There's just under 30 seconds left in this half. And a 5-3 scoreline is much more appealing than a 5-2 scoreline. Cook Islands just not quite getting their full complement of players out on the field. So a couple of touches burned, and we've got 10 seconds left. The hooter should sound any second now. As Reed looks to come around on the sweep. Straightens up, he looks to the outside. Was the ball down? Oh, it was a close run thing. Touch and go there. And will they get one more play? No, they won't. Referee will call time there at halftime. And what a display from both of these nations in this first half. But it's Tonga who hold the current lead 5-2 over the Cook Islands. We're going to take a short break. Join us after the halftime.
Do you think the other sports kind of owe touch a little bit of like thank you for development?
There's a lot of people that have transferred from touch.
I've always credited touch for those skills. It needs a bit more love.
The People's Game ki Māori Plus me whakaata Māori.
Deck out your space with our lowest prices.
Cabot's 10-litre Aquadeck decking oil, $193.90. Monarch decking applicator kit, just $48.20.
Where you find a competitor's lower price on the same stocked item, we'll beat it by 15%. Lowest prices are just the beginning.
Kia ora e tiwi, and welcome back to our second half coverage of this open men's fixture between Tonga and Cook Islands. And on your screen you'll see the Tongan flag proudly waving, and so it should. They hold a 3-try lead over the Cookies in this first half, and what was a pretty dominant display. You can see the cohesion throughout the Tongan team. You've got half of them roughly who were on the plane to Nottingham last year in the UK. One of them being that man on screen who's gotten through a mountain of work on both sides of the football, Louis Shamkul, one of the more experienced players, and you can see Coach Aote Tevano for the Cook Islands laying down the law. They'll be wanting the boys to pick up. And they've had some moments in the first half, haven't they, the Cookies? It's just a matter of being able to string enough moments together to be able to compete with this Tongan outfit. And they don't have their full complement of players on at the moment, so there's numbers temporarily out on their right-hand side. And just a little bit sluggish coming out of the break for Cookies. But Tonga, they're not in too much of a hurry, and I don't think they need to be. As they look to run that 32 platform, throwing the ball out. What a play there. That was pretty to watch from Tonga. They've had a lot of success with that 32 platform with the out ball, and they do that and add a little bounce in play a la Dean Williams back in the day with Richie Masters. And if you know, you know. That's a pretty try to watch. James Davison goes over for Tonga. And what a way to start the second half. Tonga jump out to a 6-2 lead now. See what the Cook Islands can come up with in reply as they look to fake the 33 peel. There it goes, the long ball over the top. There it is there. Numbers out on the right. They've found the space. And that is just as pretty to watch from the Cook Islands, as we see on the Bunnings Warehouse replay. Faking that 3-3 peel, just throwing the long ball out to the right-hand side. Going over with acres of space out of the right-hand corner. Cookies get their third of the morning. That is exactly the way that they would have wanted to hit back after leaking the early try in the second half. And Tonga looked to run exactly the same thing, but manning up in defense well, the Cookies. Working in the middle of the field. Scooping out a half is Puru, looking to throw the long ball over the top, out to Shamkul. Touch is made. And that's better defense there from Kuki Airani. They'll back it up with some big, strong yards too. Look at that, 2 carries. They're right up to halfway. And then 3 touches there. They cross into halfway, crossing into enemy territory. Here's Kobe Reed.
KBS, the official apparel partners of Pacific Cup. Sorry, I forgot where I was. Go grab yourselves some official Pacific Cup merchandise. They've got sandals, shirts, shorts. There's also some clearance items from Samoa Touch. I think there's some Māori Touch stuff in there as well.
Get the ball back again on the 7th. So Tonga defence holding strong at this point. Just looking to stretch the defence here, the Cook Islands. Ripping the ball out to the right-hand side. Reed will step off the right. Tried to dive between the 2 middles. The Tongan defence up to the task there. As Reed, he'll hold the ball up in the middle of the field. He's got a couple of defenders up here, so it's dangerous here for Tonga. Though they've managed to man up quite well. Carlin Brown was the one making the touch there at link on Reed. But yeah, it was dangerous looking there for Tonga. They managed to snuff that out though. They will need to move forward to make the touch. As Reed looks to scoop out a half. Throws the long ball out to the right. They've got numbers here. And the Tongan winger Fifita just jumping in the lane, which allowed enough time for the Cook Islands to catch and pirouette and put it down in the corner. And they're happy about that one. Yeah, just a little bit of indecision there. But what an excellent finish there from the Cook Islands winger. Some great awareness, spatial awareness there. And then body control just to spin. Know where the corner was, know where the touchline was, know where the try line was. And he dots it down there for the Cook Islands. So now Tonga, they'll want to reply pretty quickly, pretty smart as Broadhurst looking to use his tall frame to dive over the line. Gee, that was sharp. And you'll see just a little intricacy here as he came around on the sweep. Excellent work, just picking to the short side, which attracted the Cook Island defence and opened up the space, allowed Broadhurst to get a one-on-one matchup, using his right foot step and long reach to dive over the line. So 7-4 is the current scoreline with 9 minutes left here. Cook Islands by no means are out of this one. Still plenty of time. But they will have to string together some tries relatively quickly. Referee sees a penalty in there. Just this press defense here from the Cook Islands, from Tonga I should say. It's just enough to make the Cook Islands feel uncomfortable on the 7. Just forces them to get ready before they actually are. But now looking to run a 3-3 peel. A little tap on play. And there was space momentarily out on that left, but the ball just not quite going to hand. Now Cook Islands looking to press forward and limit those yards. And 3 touches. This is a better show here. You can hear the call from their sub-box, Tukia. Catch cry. And now Tonga looking to scoop from a long way out. And this is a great show of defense through the orange zone. That's a bit better from the Cook Islands. And those are the types of moments that they want to string together quick, smart, if you want to stay in this one. And within touching distance at the moment. And moments like that are going to have to translate into points if they want to try and draw level with the Tongans. Let's get their fresh subbers onto the park here. Already down on the 7. Back to Reed. Looking to scoop out a dummy half at a 3-2 ruck. Just running out of space. The referee calls play through, so they've got numbers, but Tonga matching up well in defense. But they're down the right end of the park, Cook Islands. If they can have a couple more sets like they did last set defensively, they're going to put themselves in the best position to be able to get on top. But now Tonga looking to run Broadhurst around on the sweep. It might actually be Durban Burgess around on the sweep, but is indeed. He'll scoop out a half. Durban Burgess throws the out ball to Marcilla. There's the gap between middle and link. And he'll use his dive to great effect. And that Pearl Jam combination working wonders for them. As Durban Burgess, you see the dummy throwing the long ball out. And Quinn Marcilla Managing to stretch out and cross over for Tonga. And that is their 8th of the afternoon. So 8-4 is the current score as we approach the halfway point of the second half. So 4 tries the deficit for the Cook Islands. Morgan Tafia looking to press out early in defence, looking to run a 3-3 peel. The short ball is on there. The Tongans get a hand in there, and so back to 1, they'll get a recount. The Cook Islands looking to run a punish play, and diving on the outside, I think that's ball down, it is indeed. Great work there from the Cookies. And it was just a simple 3-2 quickie. Going out to Link on the punish play. Yeah, ball was down. You can see clear as day on the replay. And the Cookies, they pick one back. That's their 5th, so they're always there or thereabouts. They're definitely within touching distance. It's this defensive end that they're going to have to try and stop, which is a tall task when you consider the amount of attacking weapons that Tonga have on the park. As Puru runs the sweep with the quick return ball back to Davison. That's great defense there from Kobe Reed. Davison just hovering on that 7-metre line. Gets the quickie infield. He'll look to use his long ball once again. It worked well for him in the first half. Shumkle steps off the left, throws the short ball. And Ngawati crosses over there for Tonga. And that's an excellent team try there. As you see on the Bunnings Warehouse replay, the long ball comes from Davison. Out to the left, Shumkle stepped off the left foot, stopped and propped through the short ball and committed the safe side defense from the Cook Islands. And Bodie Ngawati gets the 9th there for Tonga. And as time ticks down, the scoreboard and the time are definitely the enemies of the Cook Islands at the moment. As they find themselves down by 4, looking to run an open side quickie, a bullet pass to the Link. The ball going to ground. Now they'll need to try and force the issue as they look to press in defence. Tonga looking to go up the middle of the field, and now back to the short side, running a bit of an away set. Just looking to break down this Cook Island defence, and they've done so well there. As Morgan Tafia gets out to the sideline. Urban Burgess looks to switch Lazarus Ngata in on the inside. And that's an excellent exit for the Tongan side. As a result, within a couple of touches, they're already right down on the 7. Gee, that was excellent play. Ngata, they throw the long ball out to the right. Look to hit the deck as quick, smart as he could. Touch was made there from the Cook Islands, so they manned up well there. They managed to put a stopper on. So the score remains 9-5. The Cook Islands now, yeah, looking a little bit laboured in their work. Still managing to move the ball up the centre of the park, though. Getting down to the 7. Here's the strike drive. And Reed will look to scoop to the outside. Looks to throw the flick pass. Got a hand in there, though, Tonga. And they managed to regather. So excellent work there defensively. Touch there claimed from the Cook Island defender. That'll be 0 touch for Tonga, so excellent play defensively there. Now they'll shift the ball up the centre of the park before moving out to the right hand side to get their fresh subs onto the field. Here's Puru coming around. Davison, he set up a couple of tries, and you can see they're coming in at pace now. Davison scoops out a half with the passive to the right. 2-on-1 draw pass, but excellent pressure. Pressing forward there from the wing just to force the pass. And there was enough there for the ball to go to ground. So great identification there from the Cook Islands. So get their wires crossed a little bit of dummy. Great patient build up there from the Cook Islands. Struggling to get their numbers onto the field. They've still got a couple of touches left. Right on the 10-metre line of the Tongan half. As the scoop comes out of half, looking for the long ball, but Shumkel's been there all day. Although on that occasion, just dropping the ball, putting it down. And gifting the Cook Islands a repeat set on the line. Looking for a quickie play. Touch was made there. But it's a shot that's direct at the line. I'm sure we'll keep the Tongans in a little bit tighter on this next touch. Looking for that punish once more, dummying that, throwing the ball out to the other middle. But a great sting in defence there from Louis Puru, although he did it from an offside position, the referee says. So a penalty will go the way of the Cook Islands with just under a minute left. The game well out of reach now. We'll see if they can come up with a consolation effort to finish the game. Oh, and that was sharp there. Brilliant play from the Cook Islands. They found some success earlier with the punish play. Quickie out to the link. And they've done so again once more. Excellent play there. Quickie out to the left, dummy to the inside, dummy to the outside, stepped off the left and dove in between the link and the middle. Excellent play there from Kukiairani. And they do in fact get a consolation effort. So still down by 3 with just under 15 seconds left on the clock. With just a handful of touches left in this match, Tonga, can they hit back? Marcilla throws the early out ball to the link, but the ball goes to ground. And what a display of open men's touch we had just then between Tonga and the Cook Islands. Tonga, a little bit too classy, but Cook Islands, they were never out of it. They were always in the fight. But in the end, Tonga will run out 9-6 winners in this open men's fixture. We're going to take a bit of a break. You can join us after morning tea for more coverage of the 2025 Pacific Cup.
Warehouse, big supporters of Hardy Touch. Oh, sorry.